or work on a film set.
Yeah. All right. We can do that. Eeny, meeny, miny, this one.
This is Wise and Nerdy, where fatherhood meets fandom.
Hey, what happens when Toys R Us kids grow up and become parents? They become co-hosts of the show where Kiki Fathers unite to share our joys, challenges, and hilarity of navigating parenthood. Because being a grown-up doesn't mean you stop being a fan. It just means your sidekicks call you dad. Rock on, Daddy-O's! I didn't even practice that. I was surprised I didn't eat those words. I was surprised I got the timing down. Why am I surprised? I don't know, because sometimes I forget to rock God of podcasting, mother fathers. As of _art is over here, keeping me in check. He is vibe checking me in our farming all night long. Okay, I need Bob. I need Bob on tonight. I need him to tell me what aura farming is. But
You've seen Soul Leveling, aura farming. He does
yeah,
that like the entire time.
Like real life and stuff. I don't know. Hey, that's not what we call to talk about. How are you doing, Joe?
Doing good. How you doing, Charles?
Living loud and fun here. I thought I changed that over. I'm don't
Suspicious.
worry about it.
Don't worry about it. So Charles has been doing a ton behind the scenes this past week with the digital media track and completely ignoring Wise and Nerdy. Just saying.
Wow. Count it, people. Count it. 9 years of him sitting at my feet, and finally he rips off a good one. There we go. Got it, man. Got him. Yeah, that was good. Here, you want to know something else fun about Dragon Con Digital Media Track?
What?
That they turned it around so fast this year. We already have the feedback on the track. And I don't have it. Actually, that's an text. I did because we are live. I forgot I had that up to check it and I totally went in intro mode. All right, get off my screen, YouTube.
Yeah, we can see all the bashing they did about Wise and Nerdy.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be fun to read in our Patreon. So I know Tyra loves these things, so I just screenshotted it real quick from my email and sent her the screenshot. But it's on average, Dragon Con, as a convention overall, was 4.71 out of 752 ratings. Okay, 4.71. We received 1,203 ratings, so spiked the ball on that one a little bit. Our average was 4.77, baby.
Woo! We beat the con
every year except the first year that they had the app out. We have ranked higher in responses and in positive feedback than the con. Now that's dumb. That means absolutely nothing, but it makes me happy to see that we pull that off. So yeah, actually we should hey, are you free Monday to do a volunteer meeting? I need to go back to Discord and check that. All right, we're off track. You got me off track. You know what else is fun about Dragon Con? No joke here. Well, kind of, but not really. I still haven't got my invite as a director back next year. I got the feedback, but I haven't got the invite back.
Regina's like, Joe said something about wanting to stage a coup. Maybe.
That's funny. Is that the invites usually come early November, and then the data just got turned around so fast. I'm like, well, I mean, technically, even if you're going to be asked to not come back, because that's really how it goes, I believe. I have not been on that end of it, but I anticipate with my new roles and responsibilities, I absolutely anticipate being asked back. But
I would assume no news in that front means that they expect it to continue as it's been going. So if you don't say you're stepping down and they don't say you're stepping down, then
they actually do a handwritten. And I will comment on this, and we got to do our show. Rachel and Mandy do handwritten notes to everybody, and they literally have a big meeting of consultations of who's coming back, reviewing the year and whatnot. So beyond some other things that happen, they write out a note about how much they appreciate you and they're so happy to invite you back and so on and so forth. And they do that for some volunteers as well. I nominated a few volunteers this year for, 'cause they say you can't nominate your whole tracks. I'm like, but have you met me? Have you seen our track? I'm like the exception to the rule. All of my people I should be able to nominate. But yeah, I don't know if we find out who got accepted. So I think I nominated 2, maybe 3 people. You might be
Okay.
included. Honestly, don't remember. You might be included. I don't know. 'Cause you and John pulled off some magic. I know I told that story. I know I bragged on you guys in the reports. Anyway, that is not the question of the week.
The question of the week this week is, what is your favorite Easter egg in a movie or show?
This is hard for me because you see it in the moment, right? And
Yeah.
it doesn't always stick. Like, if I were to look up Easter eggs, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I remember that one. Oh, yeah, I remember that one." But the one I do remember, because probably it's the most recent Easter egg I saw, and I caught it instantly, and it just tickled me so much, is in Deadpool and Wolverine, right? Deadpool 3. There's this big fight scene coming up in the little city, fake state soundstage city that they obviously built for this fight scene, and the store at the end of the block is Liefeld's shoes, and that cracks me up because one of the few pieces of comic book trivia that I know is Rob Liefeld notoriously cannot draw feet at all. Like, I think there's other things that are weird about him too that he draws. But that specifically, like, any comic book he draws, ankles up, no feet whatsoever. And so to put Liefeld's shoes in there as just a quick moment was hilarious to me. What about
Yeah.
you, man?
Well, and there's some things that I don't know if people classify them technically as Easter eggs or not. Like, um, for instance, in Thor Ragnarok, when Thor says, "I know him from work." I
Yeah.
don't know if that's considered an Easter egg or not, because
No.
but the story behind that is super awesome. How it was
Oh,
a
yeah.
Make a Wish kid that came in, and I don't know whether he recommended it or said something, but that line came from a Make a Wish kid, and I think that's awesome. I don't know if that
Yeah. Yeah.
counts as an Easter egg. Um, an Easter egg that always jumps out to me is in Star Wars when they're in the giant
Which episode?
um uh 3. Yes,
Yeah.
episode
I
where
know.
where they're in the giant chamber where all the senators meet. There's a group of ET aliens in there.
Yes, that is fun. That's a fun. There's another something else in there too, I want to say.
Oh, I'm sure. And
I was just so disappointed with the first Star Wars 1, 2, and 3. And but it was
mm,
fun. That was fun because if I remember, it's like down and to the left or something. You have to look for it, but you can see them over there.
yep. Yeah, and then I mean Pixar has tons of references to other movies in it, or Hercules. The Nemean lion pelt is Scar from
Yeah,
The Lion King.
yeah,
Uh, I always get a chuckle out of that.
yeah.
So
Or when people make quick guest appearances. Um,
yeah,
so going back to Star Wars, I think it was in 7 or 8. One of the newest sets. Uh, there's 2 stormtroopers doing something, and one of them is Daniel Craig because he was filming
yep,
one of the last Bond films he did at the same time on the same movie lot, and just wanted, so he's not listed. Well, no, he might be listed. I don't remember that. The
I
story's
think
out
he's
there.
uncredited.
Yeah, but he
Yeah,
definitely, you don't see him. He's just full stormtrooper, but it's him in the stormtrooper outfit.
yeah. I think that's when in episode 7, when Rey is captured and being held there. I think that Daniel Craig played the stormtrooper that she first uses the Jedi mind trick on. I think.
Could be,
I could be off on that, but I think that's what it is.
but
So,
hello, Daddy O Devo. Is he in tonight?
hi, you fellow kids.
Yeah. Hey, awesome, also just like me, old people.
But speaking of Devo, he called in a speak pipe for his favorite Easter egg. Let's find out what it is.
So the two franchises, Toy Story and Shrek, the whole franchises are full of Easter eggs. But the ones that my favorite in Toy Story, the Shining, and there are little toys on the floor. And the other one is in Shrek, the Bronco reference to obviously O.J. Simpson. But yeah, those are great Easter egg movies.
Yeah. Toy Story is definitely notorious for doing that. Man, in Marvel, like Ant-Man, when he goes in the first time he goes into the quantum realm, I'm like, instead of watching the beauty of the scene, I'm looking all around to see if I can see an Easter egg
Yep.
anywhere else on the screen. Yeah. Now, is a mistake also an Easter egg? Because like the famous Starbucks cup in Game of Thrones
Oh,
thing.
or the jeans man in the Star Wars as well. One of the Mandalorian episodes, I think it was, where you could see one of the crew members in the background, but they edited it like it was only there for like 5 days before they edited and swapped it out on the streaming services.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so you couldn't go back and find it now. There's a bunch like that. But yeah.
Okay, Borderlands is got tons of Easter eggs. And what did I hear my character just yell out tonight? Oh man, it was like an anime reference or something. And I was like, oh, that's hilarious. It's just a throwaway random line that she's saying in the middle of battle. Like there's nothing you can do to trigger it. And it's like, I know that reference. That's hilarious. They put in guns. I like Boomstick, and it's an homage to Army of Evil Dead. Then they had one that was an homage to Firefly. It was a pistol. It was like Mal's pistol or something like that. A lot of cool stuff like that. I love those kind of things in games, as well.
Sorry if my work computer makes noise. I muted it before we started, but apparently it's still dinging at me. Those jerks.
Hey, every time we hear a ding, an angel gets his wings.
I understood that reference.
That one I would hope so. It is a true classic.
And
it is a true classic.
Every time you fart, a demon gets its wings.
Oh,
do you know that reference?
No, I don't, but I don't know how we haven't had an uprising yet.
That's from Spawn.
Yeah, no, it's been forever, man. When I say forever, since I've seen Spawn, the anime, well, I guess it's an animation, not anime, but animation or the movie.
Yeah, it's from the live action
15,
movie.
Years, it's been for John Leguizamo. He is something else.
Yeah, so. It's his clown that makes the comment. The demon clown. But anyway,
roll that dice.
That is Spawn is not a movie for the kiddos. All right, 2 or 4. Which one do you want?
4.
All right.
Parliament of Pawpaws.
Parliament of Pawpaws. Uh-oh. We're gonna go to 2 first.
Personal story. We will have a Parliament of Pawpaws. Yeah,
but we will.
We got to doing show stuff and talking to each other and sharing stories on the Patreon. So hey, you want to hear those stories? Wise and Nerdy. Patreon.com/wise_n_nerdy. Or Joe, we should do a wiseandnerdy.com/allowance. And you're paying us the allowance. Dad tax, maybe call it the dad tax.
You just have it redirect to Patreon.
Yeah, exactly. You got it. Maybe we just call it the dad. The dad tax is where I buy you like 5 nuggets, but you only get 4 of them because I give a dad tax. I get a bite out of it. Let's go.
All right.
Okay.
So before we started recording, we were we were in the Patreon before we hit play. We were talking about some of your experiences on film sets as an extra and things like that.
Yeah.
And so I'd love to hear some of those stories because we've heard a little bit on air about how you were kind of sort of an echo and then they cut everything. But we were also just not just the specific experiences, but also like what does it look like? Like we were talking about, so I asked, do the film sets even let you take your phone on there? So let's hear about some of those.
I don't know. I don't know what joke to play there. Um, okay, so we'll start with the phones. It depends on the set. Disney, notorious for no phones. It's weird though. That's for some reason that's only when kids are on set. Like I said, I filmed with Echo. I think a total of 6 days. Three were for me, and then three ended up being a mix of the kids doing different things. And I was just on set. So the ones that were for me, no kids were on set. So they came around and gave us Shield logo, legitimately red tape that had the Marvel Shield logo on it in Ages of Shield, and it would block the camera. And so basically, they would just cover your camera with the red tape, and then you could mess around on your phone, including the top camera, and you can just mess around on your phone all day long. But when the kids were on set, it's those magnetic locking bags, and you
Oh,
walk up to the table, they put it in the bag, lock it for you, hand you the bag, and that, my god, dude, make sure you bring a laptop or something, because if all you want to do is rely on your mobile device, and I don't know what they did about tablets, I don't remember, but the phones, it was bad.
bring
I
a
mean, it's
book,
boring.
people. Bring a book.
You depending on what you're shooting, you might need more than a book, especially if you're a parent watching your kids. Like, I'll go and watch
Oh,
them,
yeah.
but they're doing the same thing over and over. You don't have, as an actor, at least you're waiting for the next roll call, the next thing, whatever. Uh, you can't really go on set and watch. Um, but with your kids, you kind of can stand near them because you have to. Your guardian, you're supposed to be with them all the time. This and that. And the other. So, all right, Disney is weird about the phones. Everywhere else, because it's not Disney, so it's not that big of a deal that I've been on. God, the hospital one, I forget the Resident. We've been on the Resident a couple times. Uh, Sleepy Hollow. Um, man, Bad Girls was the worst. It was the worst to work on. Uh,
Oh,
but Fox has a studio here in Conyers, and the number of studios right here now. I've only been to the Fox studio once. That's always a fun day because you know you're inside. That's where the Resident is filmed, and that's where Sleepy Hollow was filmed, except for the times they were doing on location stuff. Uh, so if you go to a studio, it's usually nicer chairs. It's definitely all climate controlled because they're in there all the time, and it's all sets. And it's really cool how they can do backgrounds for cities and change the lighting for day and night. And here's some wooden, like you're on the backside of a new built house, right? With the studs and everything. And you walk through and you're inside a professional hospital. It's really cool to do those kind of things. And Crafty is always good at the studio because it never changes. It's always the same people.
crafty.
Craft service.
Like craft services, so
Yeah,
like
where
food
you
and stuff.
yeah. Mhm. Yeah, man. It's and Fox is and man, Marvel's got the best food. I'll tell you that right now. Marvel I love being on a Marvel set, even when you're on with kids because of the phone thing. But they set up weird. So let's talk about on location, right? Because the studio is a studio, all of them are about the same. You walk in a certain way, you check in, you go sit in an extras room, and you basically be quiet when the bell rings. On location, it can go anywhere from awesome to horrible.
Ooh.
And the awesome ones, Disney puts out some good money. Movie sets usually have decent money. Where it's a tent town, like you can tell, we're filming over there. So my daughter filmed for some Anne Hathaway movie where she falls in love with a young rocker. I don't remember what it's called, and it's a concert scene. So you see over there is the concert. Like they had daytime stuff, and they're waiting for it to get dark. And they're going to shoot the concert scene. So they had a full stage built, a real concert stage, and then everybody piled around, whatever. Those tents did not have flooring on the bottom. Some put flooring down, some don't. And when they don't, big boys and chairs tend to sink into the ground. I always bring my own folding chair because I have one of those bigger camping chairs that I like to use. You want to do that. You want to bring power. like an extension cable because there's not always power around. You want to bring power banks, your own snacks, but 'cause you never know. But craft services usually is pretty solid. The worst one was in the elements at we were doing Good Girls, and they're filming some kind of birthday party for one of the kid actors. And
Okay.
now there are rules for kids. Well, first off, the background tent was like half a mile away from where they're shooting, but it's close enough to just make everybody walk down the street. And it was about this time of year, except colder. So it was getting down as it started to get dark in the afternoon. I mean, never got warm. It was, at most 60, 65 degrees, which is, wear a hoodie kind of thing, whatever. But as it started to get dark, it started to get cold. And they wouldn't let us bring our chairs down to the set where it's his house. They had rented somebody's house to film this in the backyard. So all the cameras were set up, blah, 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 blah. We're in the front yard. Craft services there, but only for the primaries, is what they said. So no coffee, no hot chocolate, no snacks, no food, no nothing for us parents. Couldn't bring a chair to sit in. So we had to stand around in this driveway. And of course, you had to be quiet every time they called action. And they just kept filming over and over and over. What was even worse is kids at certain ages can only work so many hours, but they could all kids under that are minors, all kids can only work so many hours before they have to get lunch. And I've definitely been on some sets with my kids where lunch will happen before a regular break for the kids because it's a time thing. And there's usually an advocate from the state on there. There's no advocate from the state on the site because they took forever to get to lunch. And when they did serve lunch, there was very little kids could eat. Now, technically, kids can eat all of it, but think about for whatever this means in your mind, fancy exotic type food
Yeah.
that
The kids are gonna be like, nope.
yeah, it might be grilled salmon, but it's also got parsley and all this extra and all this extra
Yeah.
stuff on it, right? And I mean, and so parents were getting mad. They were fussing about it because there's no French fry, no simple foods for
Yeah.
kids on that set. It was no, my kids had a blast and they're all over that episode. It's in the first season. I don't remember what episode it is, but it's the backyard. I mean, you just constantly see my kids running around in the scene. And at the birthday party, they're both down by the birthday kid, full on camera. Anyway, proud parents moment, but as a background actor, it sucked. Um,
Now, so with your kids being extras, do you have to follow the Coogan's Law stuff? Where you have to put a certain percentage
uh,
into a protected trust or whatever?
oh no, 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 no. Um, no, and honestly, I give them the money. I always talk
I
about making that
assumed
bad
I
debt.
assumed you probably did just give it all directly to them. I was just
It's
curious.
it's between 80 and $100 a
Okay.
time. I mean, the standard is usually for adults is like 100 to $150 for 12 hours, and anything over that is overtime. And you're like 12 hours, yeah. I mean, it can be long days.
Yeah.
Kids again have different rules. So when Zoe was I can't remember if it's 7 or 8 where the rules changed, but she could only be on set for so long. But then part of that time had to be in this one is only in this one set, but they enforced the whole kid tutoring thing. So even though she was
Oh,
homeschooled and had done her homeschool, we had to sit with the other kids who had brought homework or there was a tutor there or something. And so we spent a whole extra hour on set. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna go home. Because as a parent, I've just been sitting there all day doing nothing. More or less. I mean, there's only
yeah.
so much on the phone you can do, only so much walking around you can do, only so much you can do talking to other parents, you know. And be prepared for that. The second day of the first, I can't remember if it was the first or second day of Echo that we were shooting, there were long downtimes because they were swapping up scenes. So they took a group of us up, or they took another group of people up there first. So I spent 2 or 3 hours just chilling. Somebody brought basically a recliner type camping chair. That was brilliant. So like, oh, I'm not in this group. Cool. They just kicked back, bundled it up, and just went to sleep. Um, I slept a little bit. I had like a neck pillow and a neck fan, so I just kind of put my fan on. Slept. That was the longest day because then they swapped up to my group and we went and shot for a while. Another group sat and did nothing. Then there was lunch. Then there was, okay, we're resetting. And so there's going to be a lot of waiting. But man, we did so many. Thanks for bringing that up again, Joe. We did so many scenes to the point that we got to the end of shooting day. And then I was remade up with all, there's still dirt in my car. If you ever look at my driver's seat, Joe, when I'm not in it, you'll see like what looks like ground in dirt. That's from that set because they literally took bags of coal makeup and just hit me everywhere to make me look dirty and then say, okay,
Yeah,
get
because
your
you were
car.
supposed to be like a trained engineer or
Yeah,
conductor or
I was
something, right?
an engineer, yeah. Which thankfully nobody got to be that part because that was mine, and but I was there at like 5, 6 AM or whatever, drove to the second set, and then sat there for another 6 hours watching them shoot that really cool scene with her on the train as it's moving, and her leg even gets stuck in the train buckle and everything else. It's amazing to watch that stuff. They had real live hardcore train, whatever those are called. They were like decks that she's walking on basically. And then they had machines moving them and huge fans and like 30-foot blue screens and stuff. It's really cool. But she's really doing all that. It's just not actually moving, right? Other than
Yeah.
wiggling back and forth. But I'm watching her do that, watching them do that, watching them do that. And then they call a wrap at midnight. And I'm like, yeah, I got paid extra, but I didn't get to do my
You
part.
didn't do anything.
What other, I mean, I know I kind of went over everything there a little bit. What other questions do you have about it?
I think that's about it. How frequently or how do you find the opportunities? I guess that's what we'll go with. How do
Okay.
you find the opportunities?
Uh, I got to see if I can re up my account. Central Casting does a lot throughout the United States for extras. And so when Hollywood came to Atlanta, okay, let's be real, when Disney came to Atlanta, and a lot of Hollywood followed, they set up an office here. And that's basically been the primary source of it. There's some other ones. I don't know if they're all around the country. Just look up extra casting agency, that kind of thing. Um, there's Rose Lock, which they'll put out stuff for game shows. Rose Lock does all the game shows in Atlanta. So every once in a while I'll apply to be on and in the audience on Family Feud or one of the judge shows or whatever. I haven't ever gotten that one. Um, and there's sites backstage something
And then
is something else you can look at.
I assume that as extras, you don't do anything with like SAG-AFTRA or anything like that, right?
No, you have to have there. I don't know all the criteria. I know some because you get bored, you start asking PAs
Yeah.
and whatnot. Uh, you have to have multiple lines. There's like a number of words to be said for one time to be considered to then become eligible. And you might have to do multiple times of that. And it's ridiculous. It's like 2 sentences or something. I mean, I can come in and go, "You're water," and that's nothing, right? I said lines on TV, I got my face, you heard my voice, but it doesn't qualify me. You
Yeah.
got to do certain things to get. So yeah, it's all non-union, non-SAG, and it's all background, but you make friends with the people on set, and ultimately, if you hustle, I have a friend who hustles it. He's been in a lot of backgrounds on a lot of shows, and that's how he tends to make his living. Now he's an average build, average look. He can do his hair in a bunch of different ways. He can be 1950s guys, 1980s, modern. He's got that's
He's
another
a
thing you can do.
chameleon.
Yeah. And a lot of times they want you to bring your own clothes. And they'll give you, here's some guidelines, here's some things. Don't wear logos or words or those kind of things.
They want more generic looks.
Yeah. And they ask, if you go to Goodwill or somewhere, maybe a little bit nicer, depending on what you want to spend, have you a suit, your formal prom dress, formal suit, just any kind of different outfits you can think of to put together, because they'll ask for those kind of things. And
Different outfits for generic settings.
Yeah, and there's been many a role I haven't gotten because I just have what I have, right? And most everything has something on it. So I do have some, like I have a
You mean they're not looking for people with hockey jerseys all the time?
Not all the time. Soon, soon you'll see me on with my. Um, but yeah, the new one I just found actually. So that's the other thing. Just start searching stuff on Facebook and TikTok. Well, actually, I haven't tried TikTok. I should try that. But do your city and casting calls, or do your state and casting calls, um, and do it on sites like Facebook or TikTok. Don't go to Craigslist because that's a whole different casting call you might not want.
People still use Craigslist?
I don't know, but you do it, then the algorithm will start popping up ads because that's what they will do. That's how I just got back into it. Was not central
Well, and
casting.
I'm sure it definitely helps to that you live right next to a city that is well known for
Oh
film
yeah, yeah,
production.
it definitely has helped, and that's the thing. It fell off because Disney is now left and gone to London. So that funnel had dried up. I need to re-up my stuff. But on location casting is another one I just signed up with for free. Now you can do a paid one, but I did the free one. And central casting is free. And there I love Tulsa King. I like Sylvester Stallone. I really enjoy it. And they put out a Facebook ad for needing extras, EMTs, this kind of thing, that kind of thing for Tulsa King. So I went and made a profile and just sent them some information.
So Tulsa King is filmed
Apparently,
there.
yeah.
Nice.
I did not
There you
I
go.
was not aware.
All
There's still
right.
a number of things. So and you're drivable, Joe. And that's the other thing too. If you're willing to drive, there are people who won't go an hour. And I've definitely driven an hour and a half to 2 hours to a set because usually if it's like, hey, we're gonna book you and we'll give you $25 because it's you're driving 2 hours. You might be there at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. I mean, it can be really early, but you're gonna get paid no matter what. If they cut you half the day, you're getting the full day's pay. If you go over 12 hours, you'll get overtime. You're getting paid, and mostly you're sitting around doing. Unfortunately, you're sitting around doing nothing half the day. But yeah, Joe, you
I,
could always come crash on the couch and then drive out there or whatever. If that
so
was the thing you were interested
I
in.
was just thinking you were talking about like 12-hour days and it's only $150.
That's not always. Usually it's like it says 10. I just saw the one I just saw was said 12 for 150. Now but 10 is like it's
I was
roughly
just trying to think of what the hourly rate would be.
it's not a ton of money.
No, because that's like
Uh
15 $10 $15 an hour.
yeah. But I'm
But
not
I
kidding.
mean, $10 $15 an hour to sit around and do nothing most of the time.
You're most of the time I've been really well taken care of. As far as like, hey, here's air conditioned tents, here's heated tents. We're shooting on location. We couldn't fit a tent. That was Will Trent. I filmed on Will Trent, and we had to be in the shipping yard because that was the scene. So they brought out just as many space heaters as they could find. They made extra batches of hot chocolate and brought it around to people. They brought in blankets. A lot of places will try to take care of you, and so you're getting paid to sit there. And a lot of working parents, like remote workers, will put their kids in this thing because their kids will come in and out of the scene or whatever, and they're sitting there having a Zoom meeting with their client or whatever.
Hmm.
Not everything works that way because sometimes you're in the
Yeah.
middle of nowhere, but for the most part, you're filming in places that have good signals and whatnot. I enjoy it, honestly. Um, the only time I haven't enjoyed it was on Bad Girls, and then one time, and it's just because I didn't get picked, but it's on Sleepy Hollow. And it was the first time they were shooting like right down the road. So even though it was a 5 a.m. call, I got up at 4:30 and I was on set by 5 a.m. Um, and that's how close it was. And it's like biker bar. And man, I was decked out, brought my stuff. They added some rings. I looked really cool and sat in this hard bench booth all day, all morning. It only went to like 10 a.m. or something. Like, yeah, we're done. I'm like, this look I wanted to be on screen with. Not some of the other stuff you put anyway. It's a lot of fun. And sometimes it's last minute notice. You'll get texted. Sometimes it's the night before going, hey, rush call. But typically you'll get a word 3 or 4 days in advance, and you just have to have a flexible schedule.
Yeah.
And just if you're gonna not do it, just say no and don't do it. they'll still keep asking you.
Yeah,
Bob's
as
now
long as
asking
you're
if he can
upfront
be-
and not overcommitting.
Bob is now asking if he can be an extra in movies.
Homeschool
Let me
field trip.
let me tell that as you roll the dice. I'll tell this real quick, but it's not fair. But I think do it once is definitely to see what it's like. Maybe do it 2 or 3 times to see the differences. You pick whichever one you want there, Joe. Um, but when I was a kid, and we're talking about South Georgia, mid '80s. Okay, somebody came to film something in South Georgia, and it was all over the radio and all over the newspaper. Hey, they're looking for extras. This is what they're looking for. They're looking for kids. And immediately, man, the bug lit me up. Like, mom, I want to. And my mom, a little bit racist and a lot of a butt face, was like, oh, they don't want boys your size. You're not the right color for boys your size. I'm like, I mean, that hurt me in so many ways, right? It was so wrong. I don't remember the name of the movie, but it's one of who's the main Hobbit in Lord of the Rings? Actor.
The Elijah Wood.
Elijah Wood was one of his first films that he did. And guess what? There was a huge overgrown white boy being his bully. And the second I saw that film, I was like, that could have been me. I was so traumatized because my mom was butt faced. Man, so yeah. If
All
you
right,
can,
you got smack the gavel. She's the butt face.
rest in ashes. All right, what do we roll?
We got a 1, which is
What are you nerding out about?
All right, Joseph. We're gonna play our little game, right? And I think did we have somebody call in with the name of the anime?
we did. We
Okay.
certainly did. So the name of the anime is A Gatherer's Adventure in Isekai. And we do have one person that called in to give
All right, let's hear it.
their plot synopsis, and it's Devo. So let's see what Devo has to say.
Okay, a gatherer's adventure and isekai. So this primitive group of hunter-gatherers get together, and they're picking their berries, and they're going here, going there, surviving, and they're out, and they are collecting some mushrooms. And instead of them being edible, they're hallucinogenic, and they have an adventure where they go to the future, and it's just capers and hijinks everywhere with these guys.
Tell me you've never seen an anime without telling me you've never seen an anime. Capers and hijinks.
So was the adventure the whole isekai was in their head? They hallucinated it? Is that what he was trying to say?
I think so. Maybe not. Maybe they time traveled because they hallucinated so hard. Here's what Bishop says. Bishop says, after being reincarnated into a fantasy world, Larry, a mild-mannered grocery store produce clerk, discovers that his only special skill is finding slightly bruised fruit. Man, I wish I'd read this before I told it to mix it up with VeggieTales, because this is a perfect narrative.
I was wondering if it was
right.
VeggieTales.
This is just random here. Armed with a rusty trowel, and a supernatural ability to identify discount-worthy bananas, Larry sets out to gather his way to glory. Instead of slaying dragons, he barters for compost. Instead of saving the princesses, he delivers artisanal salads. This one's. Tell me you haven't seen an anime without telling me you haven't seen an anime. You suck, Bishop. All right. What's it really about?
So it's about a guy who, dies and is reincarnated like they do. And he's given 3 main abilities. One is that he can, he's got a ton of mana, a ton of magical energy, and he can create basically any spell that he wants just by imagining it and creating it. And so one of the first things, and he's told specifically that one of the things he should use it for is for search magic. And so he's plopped down and he uses his search magic, and it
Tinder.
and it doesn't directly identify what everything is unless he goes up and actually concentrates on it, but it'll put symbols which are playing card symbols, actually, heart, spade, um, and whatnot, the diamond, and it's different categories of items, and then he can walk up to them and he can inspect them, and it'll give him more information as well as the rarity. So it's got some video game mechanics there, and he can gather stuff. Um, and his new body, he's exceptionally tall in this world, apparently. Um, so what you feel every day, Charles. And so like, but people when he goes to town, people comment, "Oh, you're so tall! You're so tall!" And I've seen that in a couple of different.
Is he like Slender Man
okay.
tall or?
Mm, I so it's hard to gauge in animation. But if I had to guess, I'd put him around 6'4" ish.
And everybody's
Um,
like 5'8" or something.
well, so I, now I'm curious what the average height in Japan is. But I think on average Japanese men are slightly shorter than American men. So it seems to be a thing every now and again in anime where they really play up height because of the stigma that Japanese men are
Sure.
slightly shorter. Um, but yeah, so he's slightly taller, but he starts going around and taking adventures to gather, and and it's only a few episodes in, but every time people are like, "Oh, you're a gatherer. Oh, you're a gatherer." Like it's something special. Like you've got tons of adventurers. Like he's seen adventurers left and right. And so I'm sitting here thinking like, why? And I don't know if it'll come up as to why gatherers are so special, or if it's just a thing. But yeah, so he's taking quests to go gather different materials and whatnot, and it's a rather generic isekai. He's OP, super overpowered, and the battles that he has had have been very low stakes. Like he ran into these giant crab like creatures and just he bam bam dead. And then he brings he's got an item box, so pretty cliche
So
in
they actually make him kill the animals, unlike Legend of Zelda, where you just walk up and grab them.
yep.
Gotcha.
And so yeah, so he brings them back and he shows them off, and everyone's like, "Oh!" They're like freaking out. So he's clearly super OP, even though he doesn't consider himself a combat person. He's a gatherer, and so, but critically speaking, it's not that great. It's a generic isekai, but it is fun and it's relaxing, and I am enjoying it.
I hate it just from the name. Adventure and Isekai. I mean, I almost sent you this TikTok. I was just looking. I did not send you this TikTok. I don't know why, but it was a guy making up blatantly dumb names for anime. Like guy who fell from the tree, whose older brother is king, but he has no power. Watch him in. Guy who fell from the tree, whose older brother is king, and he has no power. Yeah.
I've seen clips like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is kind of like that. A gatherer, adventures, and isekai. It's like we just mistranslate, or you really have zero creativity.
There's a lot where the anime title is just the sales pitch.
Ooh, I got a new call in for the middle of the show for everybody, because I almost gave Devo grief because he didn't assault his kid again like he did last week, which was hilarious and amazing. So do that. I need to remember to do that. I assault my kids all the time. I just now need to record it for evidence and send it in. Because that's fun. But how about you find a random clip that's okay to show your kids of any anime, something you love, something that you just came across, and show it to them and have them make up a name for the show.
Make up a name just
based
based
off
on the one
and we're gonna
clip.
see. We'll see how close it is to the real name of the show.
Name that anime. Oh
Yeah.
man.
So okay, so mine has our good friend Bob Magoo right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Uh,
I've been eager to hear about your weekend.
so multiverse is amazing. And now I know exactly why we haven't been able to get in for the last 6 years. It is because it is a different con that I just didn't understand till I went. This particular year, you and I both met Vanessa at Chattacon. She was the booth right next to Bob's,
Yeah.
and she also runs a track at DragonCon, and I think we ran into her again at a different con. Anyway, we've been building relationships, and she is a somebody influential at Multiverse. Like, look, I've been trying to get in. I really want
Okay.
to get in. And I think she said, focus on podcasting, talk about teaching podcasting. Like, okay, that sounds a little weird, but sure. I'm glad I listened. So of course I pitched all the normal things, my game show, our show, be awesome together. But then they have what's called a learn track, and it is a legitimate run by an academic scholar academic track to teach people things. They put out calls for papers, like academics do. So you say, here's, I don't know if it's like an essay. I've not been that far into that world, or if it's like a one sheet of here's what I teach and here's what they'd learn. And okay, I've done a little bit of that pitching to other cons, so maybe it's that. But I said, hey, I don't have a paper, but here's my credentials. Here's what I've done. Here's how you can vet me. I want to do podcasting 101. I should have called it digital media 101 because it confused a little people. Because only people who wanted podcasting came, and I heard people in the hallway going, well, I want to do streaming. And I'm yelling from the thing, we do streaming. Come in. They didn't come in. That's how I got accepted. And so, okay, cool. I will teach this class. A little nervous about it because I've never been asked to teach at a con. It's going to be interesting. It was really cool. I recorded it, Joe. I've got it all. We're going to put it out on Wise and Nerdy. First for the
Nice.
patrons, then it'll go out for the regular folk. Um, but then they give you slight exaggeration, but it's up there, like a 40-page survey to do.
Oh boy.
Right, it seems like a lot, and probably took me 20 minutes. I mean, that's a pretty solid investment of time going through each page, but it's very interactive, and you can skip sections, and it's done basically a page at a time, and it's very much brilliant. It is the most brilliant thing I've ever seen because they tell you here's the topics we're doing, because everything, here's why we weren't invited to come. Everything's basically educational. As I was there this weekend, I'm like, I see no time frame or place to where my game show would even fit.
Okay.
Like, I'm not even sure how, if people would come, because I mean I can put it on the play track, but it's just kind of a different thing there. The play track is really
Yeah.
about teaching games, not playing games. That's what the game room is for. Um, there are no live shows. I'm like, yeah, no, I get that. It's really a learning kind of educationally based
Hmm.
fan con, right? So they have a horror track, and you can talk all things horror. I was on a panel on the horror track for the first time ever about games, horror and video games. And I'm like, well, I love Dead Space and I love Dark Pictures Anthology, but I don't do horror. So I thought my whole voice was gonna be, hey, as somebody who doesn't do horror, so I'm gonna be like, I hated those games because I don't do horror. I can talk about these and how they overcame the ball. Well, it turns out it was a great mix of voices and I fit right in. But it was, you know how we go to Stellar Fest and Conjuration, and the audience at DragCon, you line up on a microphone, or at least you raise your hand
Yeah.
because it's such a big con, it does that. But we go to Conjuration and people just shout things for the audience and just
Yeah.
talk to you. It's that mixed with education is what multiverse is. So
Okay.
I think there's definitely ways you could come next year, and I think you would enjoy it. It was very enjoyable. It's very different from anything I've done, but that's it. It's pitching an idea of a
Got it.
discussion topic that can connect with people. So you go through this whole survey, and it's like, hey, okay, on the horror track, here's all the panels we're going to have. I'm like, scroll, 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 scroll. Oh, video games. Here's the description. I was like, I could talk on that. So I click, yes, I'm interested. Then I have to write down basically what I bring to the panel.
Okay.
And I'm like, this is brilliant. So now you can see if I fully understand the concept of what you're doing. And
So they vet their panelists a lot more than your average con.
yeah, because the synergies with everybody was really good, except for one panel. I wasn't on it. It's a whole different thing. But the synergies were pretty good on all of it. And I was like, man, that's cool because I never felt out of place. I forget over time what the description of the panel was and what I was going to bring to it. But maybe I'm always going to wing it. But then I go, oh yeah, I did fill that out, and I was a perfect fit for this. So I ended up on a game called Chuck Tingle, Potato and Glass.
Okay.
I had no idea what it was.
Guess that anime plot.
I literally was under the impression that, how we went to Chattanooga or Chattacon, actually, I think it was somewhere where you and I kept we won board games and brought them home. Whatever con that was.
Was that Stellarfest? I think it was Stellarfest.
But there was times they would teach you the game. So it's kind of like a panel, but you're learning how to play a game.
Okay.
I thought that's what the play track was. So I signed up for this going, well, that sounds crazy. I'll try it. And they gave a little rundown of what it was. I'm like, cool. No, we're just playing the game. Like outright, like botched a D&D podcast. We're doing similar to D&D. It's its own set of rules. It's its own weird universe. They don't call them classes. They call them trots or something else. I don't know. But there's unicorn, human, raptor, which can be dinosaur or bird, and Bigfoot. Those are your 4 classes or types or whatever that equate to. Then, okay, I guess that's types because in classes were like sneak and wizard. And I picked charmer because I thought it'd be hilarious for me to play somebody charming. And so I put my skills in the charm and not in the strength because I'm this big Bigfoot who can't break anything. I have to talk my way out of stuff. And like,
so there you go, random kid. He was Bigfoot.
Yeah, oh yeah, of course. You called it, yeah. Of course. Well, I mean, like, yeah, I can't not be Bigfoot when I get the opportunity to be Bigfoot. Bob Magoo was also Bigfoot. Not so much, Shorty. Okay. But yeah,
he was Littlefoot.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you don't even understand. Okay, because of how we do things on this show, this will need to be Patreon. But there's a reason that joke would have really hit, and we'll talk about on the after. I made that
okay.
So I'm starting to realize, oh crap, this is gonna be an improv game of me having to do a character. I've never done that before. Like on Botched, I kind of get assigned a character more or less, or I don't fully understand the idea going in, and there wasn't enough room to play because they're professionals. I mean, they try, but I mean, when you're not even backyard league trying to play with professional league players, it's intimidating, and I don't feel like I'm doing as good a job there. There is something about going somewhere new that will do miracles for you. Like I was super confident all weekend, even though I almost showed up late. That stressed me out. That was cool. I was there on time. I had the very first panel of Podcast 101. So just went in. I'm the expert. I'm here to teach you. Let's go. I carried that throughout. It was a really cool vibe. But I'm gonna have to do voices. I'm gonna have to build a character. And I went, well, I can make fun of people really, really well. So what if I base my character off of Bob Magoo? He was at the table with me. And I went to ChatGPT and it's like, hey, Bob Magoo, talesbybob.com. I'm building this character in the Chuck Tingle universe. I want to base it off of him. It needs to be a Bigfoot. Give me some ideas. And it came up with a couple ideas I went with because I wanted everybody to know for sure it was him because there were some plays off of his character names that I thought might be too subtle. So it's Goofoot, the redneck Bigfoot. I got my voice going right here. And I put it out, even though this is not part of the game, I made it up. Goofoot has a crippling form of Tourette's that comes out in the form of bad dad jokes. So I had ChatGPT do bad dad jokes in the universe of Chuck Tingle, which apparently is slightly adult because it gave me some ones I couldn't bring back here. It gave me some ones like you've told before, like why can't pterodactyls urinate because the P is silent, or so you can't hear pterodactyls urinate. P is silent. Give me some of those. I stole one of Bob's because the tornado was coming, and dude, day one, he and I go up to the con suite because we'd finished both of our panels and caught up with each other. Like, hey, let's just go hang out and talk and catch up. And we're in there like, oh yeah, we're gonna have tamales tonight for dinner. And he didn't even hesitate. He looked me dead in the eye. You know what I always say? Chili today, hot tamale. I'm like, as soon as they say like, I'm like in the middle of the room, don't you do it. Don't you do it. And everybody's looking at us. He did. I was like, oh my God. So as soon as the tornado was coming, I hit him with that one. He starts laughing. And I was like, no, this is really based off of you, bud. Just wait. And Alabama's playing Tennessee right then and there. Like they're playing the game. He's a huge Alabama football fan. And people were like checking in for him, like, hey, man, scores this or whatever. And popping up. So the tornado, he hit in some train station for a tornado and he messed up his roll and got hurt. And I said, man, that tornado ran you over like Tennessee ran over Alabama. And he did not laugh. He did not laugh at all. I mean, he wanted to, but he really did. He's like, big guy's like looking at the DM. He's like, what's the safe word? What's the safe word? Safe word. He looked me dead like, safe word, MFer. Oh God. So I got him. Then later on, so I don't remember what the actual power is called. And it was so much fun. The whole thing was, it was just so much fun. I improv'd on the spot, made up the character, started ripping on him because he tells so many great stories, right? Well, there's a power for the charmer that is storytelling or something like that. And of course, I got to take that. Bob's a storyteller. I don't even care what it does. I'm taking storytelling. And it is an illusion that as long as I'm telling the story, blah, 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 roll the dice, everybody's caught up in it, no matter what. And of course, me building my brand on not knowing things, I called it cool story, brah, as the power. So the D was like, what? It's like, yeah, cool story, brah, where I tell the stories. The illusion goes, oh, sure, whatever. And I put on that voice and I just leaned in, dude. And I started right in the middle of one of his stories that he had told the night before about his dating life and going on a date. But he went to IHOP. I'm not going to IHOP. I said Cracker Barrel because that's so white and bland. I could never go to Cracker Barrels. And everybody's rolling. And about the time that I got into that story, I looked at you, I was like, do I need to continue? I shall continue. And I went on with a second story. And I was like, oh my, he just said out loud, he's laughing. He's just mashing up all my stories for this whole weekend. He's loving it. At the end of that rant, where the Diaz like, do I need to continue? He's like, no, your illusion works. We're good. The strangers, by the way, everybody in between me and Bob are strangers. I literally just met them on this panel. The strangers are all cracking up. The girl next to me, the lady next to me goes, I just need a whole panel of that. I just need a whole panel of that. And it just made me feel so good. It's so much fun. It was such a cool, fun thing to do. And afterwards, I gave him some other Alabama. I messed up like roll dogs and sick 'em tied, and it just kept happening, right. But I did one where he messed up, and I did a fumble joke that got him irritated again. He came by, and then he's like, hilarious, but also F you, MFer. Oh my God, so much fun. So yeah, it's a great con. They had just moved up into this hotel this year. They outgrew the last one. I wish I'd been to the last one to feel it, because this one is spread out really well. It's going to take a while for them to outgrow it, but at times it felt a little empty. And I know it's probably just because it's a growth year, right? Because there was definitely people, and when the people were there, they were there just like Conjuration. They're there to participate. There is not a passive audience, and that's a fun con to be at.
Okay, that sounds like a blast.
Bob probably won't come back on the show this year because he's still pissed off, I think.
We'll get him. We'll rope him in. He can't stay away from us.
Nah, he loves it. Actually, he can't stay away from us. Him and Ben are our guests at Conjuration.
Yep. And I'm on a couple of other panels with him as well. So nice. I'm going to be on like 3 or 4 panels with Bob at Conjuration. So it'll be fun.
fun. It's fun times, man. It was cool stuff. Stone cold sober all weekend because I was driving in and out, so that's not always fun. But I made it. I made it work.
And
I
wasn't
was
there as your
okay.
designated driver?
Yeah, no.
He's
Which
like,
actually,
Charles is like, that's the only reason I keep you around, designated driver.
what's funny is I was just thinking, I was like, I still don't drink or do anything when you're around. I just
No,
don't
not
think about it.
usually.
I'm driving in and out. Yeah. So yeah, no, it's usually you do it. Never mind. Roll the dice. Roll the dice. Nothing, Kelsey.
We've already done both of those. Oh, which one do you want?
Okay, I guess let's do 6.
You heard it. He asked for the 6.
Did I?
Joe!
Did I concede the king because you got check and mate?
Oh, you asked for it. You certainly asked for it. You called out Devo earlier, saying that he didn't send in more of him and his daughter, but he did.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Hey, Ruby, did you know that dogs can't operate an MRI scanner?
You told me this.
Yeah, you told me this too.
I did not.
Oh, never mind.
Yes, dogs can't operate an MRI scanner,
Why?
but cats can. What is a chicken's favorite kind of vegetable?
Hmm?
What's a chicken's favorite kind of vegetable?
I don't know.
An eggplant.
Wow.
You're
Wow.
going to use this at school, don't you?
Uh,
What? You said yeah?
obviously.
Oh, obviously. Okay, good. Good. No, I'm not wasting my time telling you these jokes.
I hope you play this podcast, this section for her. Joe, clip this so we'll find her on social and make sure she sees this. Your dad is gaslighting you. He absolutely told you that joke before. You knew in your soul, sister. You knew it in your soul. I feel for you. CPS is on its way.
Oh, when we're at Dragon Con, inevitably, every year, the escalator stops working. Do you know what it says when it stops working? Nothing. It just stares.
Your face. Yeah, with the face. You're making great memes of me. I need to cut you out on one of these and just put you on a shirt and we'll sell the crap out of it.
It's true. I should show everyone. I showed you before the meme that I made of you just today. It's a good one. You did a really good impression of the yes baby. Ugh.
Yeah, I didn't even need to. I mean, I'm living my meme life right there, man. That thing locked up so good.
Oh man. And
That's fun.
I posted that in the digital media track Discord, but also in the Wise and Nerdy Discord. And if you wanted to get in on the Wise and Nerdy Discord, you head over to our link tree /wise_and_nerdy, and the link to get in our Discord is right there. So join us, have fun with us.
Hey, because we are talking about, I know we talk a lot, that's what we do. But that's what dads do. We're gonna mow that lawn eventually. Just don't worry about it. We're talking about doing things in Discord, like because that Chuck Tingle. I don't know if it's a thing that we could play with our people. We might have to do more of a standard D&D or something. Because I don't know if it's the people I played with, but it was kind of raunchy. But I don't think the content was that necessarily. But I don't know. But I thought it'd be fun to find something, man. We can maybe reach out to some of our people. I don't know how you are about writing campaigns, but if we could have a dad-based campaign, like the Daddios, the Parliament of Papas, isekai'd into a world, and now we're basically using Dungeons and Dragons rules to go through. That would be a fun thing to do once a month or so. And you could rotate in and out people. It doesn't have to be the same people every time. We'd find some reason why. We're a traveling baseball team. That's the worst. That would explain why some dads didn't make it this week. You
Oh
know, we're not
man.
the baseball team. It's travel baseball. Is what I meant to say.
Yep.
But yeah, uh, man, are we only 3 sections in?
Yes. So
Dang.
we better get a move on.
All right, rock and roll.
All right, there we go. Number 3.
How do I?
How do I shut up and end the show? Because we've been telling some
Wow.
really long stories tonight. I've been telling really long stories. Okay, how do I nurture my kids' positive traits? This kind of
Yeah.
goes hand in hand with something you asked recently about examples and different things.
Yeah. So I've been thinking a lot about some of the different traits that my boys have. So, for instance, my oldest boy, he is very goal oriented, and that proud dad moment. He's been saving up for the last several months, and it's the first time in his life that he's saved up to this extent. And this past weekend, he bought himself a Switch 2, his biggest purchase that he's ever made. Okay.
Hey, hey, Mally, remember me? Your favorite drunk uncle? You invite me over to play. Invite me over to play sometime.
Yeah. So this weekend we played some of the new Mario Kart and had a bunch of fun with that. But yeah, so he is very goal oriented. My middle child, he's very much gets obsessed with something for a little bit and then moves over and gets obsessed with something else for a little
He's a
bit.
podcaster. Got it.
And so he's got those natural um tendencies, but you also see that in not just, right now
Yeah.
he's obsessed with Bakugan, before it was Beyblade, before it was Pokemon, but he gets obsessed with skills that he wants to learn as well. And so for a while there, he was really learning animation. Now he's learning art in general. So he's been working on shading and things like that. And so he gets these creative itches, and he wants to learn skills for those creative itches. And so it got me thinking, how can we use these natural tendencies to grow and to push them into a positive influence in their lives, and help them channel those.
What about old Jebby? You gonna leave my favorite out? The leading contender for favorite call-in kid?
So he is obsessed with whatever his siblings are obsessed with.
Oh, don't
and
be the baby. I don't
and
know you're the
so,
baby.
well, what we do try to foster that in a positive direction. Like, for instance, um my wife, over the past couple of months, has started teaching piano lessons. And so my boys, who they've off and on kind of lackadaisical said they wanted to learn piano, but now they actually are like, I want to learn piano. And so we've been my wife's been teaching them some of the basics, but also on their own. They've been using their iPads, and they've got Duolingo, and Duolingo doesn't just have languages nowadays; it has a bunch of other stuff. And one of the things that they have on there is
Right.
piano. And so my wife has been giving them tips and pointers and lessons here and there, but on their own, they've also been um, doing the Duolingo piano and things like that. And so encouraging them to do that. And um, again, my oldest, the goal oriented one, we're like, hey, you don't want to lose that streak in Duolingo.
Yeah,
Go do your Duo. And so he'll either do his piano or um, I don't know what language he's doing now. They've fluctuated between Spanish and Japanese most of the time, but they're doing a little bit of both because my father-in-law, he did literally everything Duolingo has for Spanish. He
Oh, yeah,
ran out of
yeah,
lessons.
whatever, yeah.
It took him several years, but he did all of the Duolingo Spanish. And so my boys have been trying to learn Spanish, and then because of anime, they've been trying to learn some Japanese as well. So they keep fluctuating between the two.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah.
So the how do you foster that? through a little shame sometimes, but also through massive reward. I want to hope with Malachi, you are making it clear that's his switch. Because at some point, especially hitting 13, 14, there's gonna be a reason like, nope, you can't play it. It's fine. I've tried to do that with every one of my kids. Like, no, there's things that I buy that I kind of say, hey, I want you to be nice, whatever. But when you buy it with your own money, I'm still going to lecture you about being nice, but that is yours. So that's
Yep.
something I help because that was his reward for achieving goals. Um,
Yeah,
that's
we have had to rein him in because he's been trying to how do I want to say this? Blackmail, bribe, basically tell his brothers,
barter. I believe is the word you're looking for. Barter with his
you,
brothers.
you can't play my Switch 2 unless you do X, 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 and X. I'm like, nah, you can tell them no, but I don't want to hear you blackmailing your siblings.
I still haven't heard blackmail come out of your mouth, sir. I still hear, hey, you can't play my
No, it's
Switch
just
2 unless you clean my part of the room. That's payment and service.
Yeah, just the way he's going about it, he's being mean. He's being ugly about it.
Okay,
I'm just
Malachi.
like, no.
Listen, it's not what you say, it is how you say it, sir. And if you do it with, hey, I'll make you a deal. You do this thing that I don't want to do for myself, or what, I'm not sure what you've been using for your brothers, but hey, if mom asked me to do the dishes, if you'll do the dishes for me, or at least I'll put away the dishes you wash to clean with, whatever, however y'all have your system, then cool. You can get, now be clear. See, this is how you actually barter. You'll get an hour or an hour and a half, whatever. You gotta be commensurate to what you're asking, man. If you're asking them to clean your part of the room and that's your part of the room, then they need 2 hours. That's a big payday, right? That's a 2 hour, but it's a tone. It is, you can't use it to manipulate people because in the real world, as you're finding out in your own house, it's the real world happening there, is that other people intervene. Your brothers will they'll not just stop asking you, it'll change the relationship and it'll make it kind of bad for you. So don't do it. So that's Joe. You get a rock star celebrity to talk to your kids, and that helps enforce good things. That's what I was modeling there for you.
Oh, man.
Okay, so like with all of my kids, I find something I love that they do, and I just ask them to do it. Crosby loves to do art and drawing, and I don't. It's packed up safe somewhere. I hope it's safe somewhere when we moved. But there's a canvas that she did that's just sunflowers, and I just always liked how it looked. And we had talked about taking her to a festival and like a local craft festival and selling some of her art. I think she actually did that once or twice, but I said, that one's mine. She's trying to be a kid. Oh yeah, I'll sell it one. I'm like, all right, you put $400 on that one, and if it sells, there you go. Fine, it's $400 for you.
That's what Mark Gunn did. His daughter was
Yeah.
making those masks and putting them for sale at the different conventions. And there was one that she didn't want to sell. So they made it like 10 times the price of all the rest of them.
Right.
So if it sells, she's got a big payday. But if it doesn't sell, she still gets to keep it because she didn't want it to sell anyway. So
yeah. I don't know. So I'm always talking to my kids. Sometimes I'm lecturing, sometimes I'm harassing them. But I also try to take that moment if they do something good to say, hey, really just that's my style. Blatantly hammer it home. Today, when you did this thing for your mom or you did this thing for your siblings and nobody asked you, that's amazing. That's the kind of human I want you to be. And then sometimes it is reward. It's like you guys have a system of points or money or whatever. We don't necessarily have that, but it'll be like sometimes it's just a dad shining the proud light on you, right? Versus the training light. Because that goes hand in hand. That can be a manipulation, so you'd have to be careful about it. But because I'm very aware of that, it's like I could give the glowing warmth of my approval, and then I can give you the barren cold of my disapproval. So you do have to be careful. But I try to flip it. I get hey, you're not wrong, but let's do it better. So just constant training. So it's almost like boot camp. Your push-ups. You're not literally, but in your soul, you're doing push-ups or whatever, and then I make it a huge deal when they do something good. And like with Ryland, I really do love his cooking. I was trying to encourage him to branch out more. So for one of my birthday dinners, because for your birthday dinner, you can ask for anything. It can be a restaurant, it can be food your mom makes. Usually the kids want some special meal their mom makes that they really like or whatever, or to go out. But I asked Ryland to make me a dinner, and we sat down with a book together and I picked up the menu, and he nailed it. So it's just stuff like that. Um, I keep encouraging Zoe to run away because I'm tired of having 4 kids. She's not listening. It's all those things. But I mean, you do what you can, but I think it is important because it's so easy to get angry when they mess up and to fuss at them, to have to discipline them if that's the case. And it's so easy just to skip over. I mean, I cannot tell you how many real stories, but you can see it on TV all the time. The parents on the sideline, oh man, your kid was really cool today. They did a great thing. Yeah. And then there's never a scene where they tell the kid they did great today. That plays out in real life way too often. So make sure you tell them they did something awesome.
Yep.
And then, blackmail them by saying, we'll get you a Switch too if you do all these good things for us.
Yeah, my oldest, he's been and my wife been asking my middle child if he's going to save up to get his own Switch too. He's like, no. And I'm not surprised. He is not at the phase in life where he's going to save up to more than $50 worth of something at most.
Hey, no, he knows who he is right now, and that's cool. Roll the dice, but it drives me crazy that I always wanted tech. I always wanted things because we were poor, whatever. And when I had my hands on tech, I'm giving my kids, through the work that I did, we were always replacing tablets. And so I'm like, hey, here's this tablet. Here's nah, we're good. I'm like, what do you mean you're good? I just brought you a really cool piece of tech that is expensive that I would have died to have when I was your age. Nah.
Yeah.
But old JB's going to save up for that mustache. Go for it, man.
That's right. Actually, so Malachi, his new goal to save up for is he wants a 4K OLED TV in his room to hook up his Switch to, because he's got a TV in his room and all that it has is the Switch, but it's a cheapo TV, and he's like, this is not the best experience I can have with my Switch. I need that 4K OLED TV. So that's his new goal, is to save up for a 4K OLED TV for his room.
My ninja, you got it. Dude,
so
better do a high-end projector, 4K projector. It'll go further with you in life.
Was that a joke?
No, quite literally. No, no. Not all of us bad dad, brain dead jokes, okay? But no, in all seriousness, I mean, because you want a bigger TV, blah, blah. But at some point in life, you might not have the ability to move a bigger TV, but you can always fit a projector somewhere, and no matter where you fit it, it still looks cool.
But a projector's not going to give you those deep blacks that an OLED TV is going to give you.
Yes, they will. They make. Did you roll the dice or not?
Yes, I did.
A commercial break would be good right now.
Yes, I agree. I'll find some song. I don't even know what song this is. Oh, yeah, that fits the mood right now. Hey, you want to come get antagonistic here on Wise and Nerdy? You come on, because this is where fatherhood meets fandom. And sometimes the fandom is just smashing faces. This is Sparta. Chill out for a minute. This is whatever this music is.
You're saying chill out, and this is Sparta. You're just like, those are two very different vibes.
Mow your grass to that song. Show your kid how to find the Skylit winch. Teach your daughter about blinker fluid. Oh, go to patreon.com/wise_nerdy and give us some money. We could use your support. We need that dad tax paid, baby. We're giving you all kind of dadding up tonight. Time to pay the dues. Yeah, that was some random thought. That was very aggressive. But I feel
You can also head on over to wisenerdy.com/calldad to leave us a speak pipe. So we've got the holidays coming up, and this is something that Charles put in for a question of the week. So for November 13th, it's what holiday treats hit differently now that you've grown up?
yeah, I remember that one.
It's good because you said it last week. So
That's probably why I remember it, because it was just last week that I said it. I honestly thought it was a while back that I said it.
but we do have another speak pipe from Devo
Okay.
site. So let's see what he's got to say.
Welcome back from school.
Do you want to take me to Taco Bell?
Taco Bell again?
Oh.
I know, that's fine.
Yeah. Someone
Yeah.
said nacho fries back. I for real this time.
Okay, for real, you said that last time.
I think so. Nacho fries.
If only you had a little thing in your hand, you could look it up.
Yes.
All right.
They're back in 2025.
They're back. That's right.
You have to get a large.
Taco Bell nacho fries all day, every day.
I mean, he might want.
All right, let's go get some nacho fries.
I'm sorry.
Fries.
Your brother show up in the car? No, this is a daddy-daughter day at Taco Bell. Brother gets no nacho fries.
Nacho fries.
He is absolutely winning the game in that house for favorite kid all day.
Charles is all about them nacho fries.
They're interestingly good. I mean, it's not my number one thing to go to, but when it's in the Lux box or whatever, I eat them. They're cool.
I mean, they're nacho sauces, but the fries themselves, I do like the seasoning on them.
Now, do play this for your daughter, Devo. Every time you ask your dad to go to Taco Bell, my heart sings, but his wallet gets empty and he can't give money to the show. So, girl, you have to skip Taco Bell today. All right, we need it for Wise and Nerdy.
Well, apparently they've been skipping it enough because this past week, Devo upped his Patreon pledge. Thank you, Devo.
Oh, okay. Next time I see your daughter, Taco Bell's on me. Thank you, Devo. All right. So did we scrounge up? We did scrounge up a Parliament of Papas.
Parliament of Papas.
Extra long road trip of a show. Am I the butt face for refusing to pay my parents' rent? Okay. Depends on the context. Is it pay rent to my parents or pay rent on my parents' behalf? Let's find out.
That is a good question. And normally I'd tell you what the Redditor's name is, but it's brought to us by Deleted. So we'll see.
So we'll run through as a volunteer. Got it.
They might have gotten roasted enough that they're like, I am done with the internet. Bye. So let's see what they have to say. Hi, Reddit. I, 19-year-old female, graduated earlier this year and made the decision to take a gap year before I continue on studying next fall. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. I have talked with my mom about this for years after taking her recommendation to take a gap year. After struggling with a really heavy depression for years, I got my first real job last winter and I've been working there since. It's a part-time position of only 3 hours a week. That's a very part-time position. And even though
that's not part-time, that's drug money.
Yeah,
that's not even, that's like dollar store money. I mean, that's how much you getting paid an hour to work 3 hours a week.
I mean, as a 19-year-old, I can't imagine they're making more than 15 an hour. So that's like $30 after taxes that you're getting a week. Anyway, so 3 hours a week. And even though it was perfect for when I was in school, since graduating, I have been actively looking for another job so I can save up some extra cash for when I do move away to university. In the midst of me applying for jobs so I could save more money every month, since it was difficult to save enough on my current paychecks. Yeah, because you don't have any in your current paychecks. Anyway, my mom called me and explained how she and my dad, who are separated and live apart, wanted me to start paying them rent to live at home. This really caught me off guard, and I broke down completely. Not once had she or my dad ever brought this up to me before. I asked why they wanted me to pay to live at home when she was the one who told me not to move right away after graduation and to live at home for an extra year. And she said it was money I would pay them to cover the cost of food and groceries whilst I live at home.
Okay.
This would have been a very reasonable point if it weren't for the fact that I have been buying and making my own food for months. The majority of my paychecks go to groceries since I have always been particular about my diet and decided that just being in charge of my own grocery shopping would be easier than asking for a separate dish that they would have to cook. I explained all of this to her, asked why they want me to pay them for buying groceries for me when I already use my own money for my everyday meals. And she just dismissed me and said they always cook and I should pay for the food that is handed to me. I can't be unreasonable for refusing to pay for something I don't even eat, right? And yes, I tell them ahead that I will be making my own lunch or dinner and I don't need them to cook for me, so they don't. So, am I the butt face for telling my mom I won't pay her or my dad grocery money for as long as I live at home since I already use my money to buy groceries for myself? And there is an edit here.
Okay.
To specify, I mainly live at my dad's place since, due to personal preference, and since my parents are on good terms, I would be paying one of them, but they'd share it if that makes sense. They talked about this together, but my mother was the one who brought it up to me. She also added that this was so I'd get a push to get another job, even though I have explained on multiple occasions that I have been actively applying for jobs for weeks and recently got another one. I also told her that I could move out and get my own place for 9 months before moving again, but was told I really should stay at home since they thought that would be better.
Did they specify at the beginning? This is a daughter.
Yep. Yep, a
Yeah.
19-year-old female.
Yeah, this has mother daughter vibes all over it with passive aggressive BS and um taking it on the surface. It comes down to the mom and the daughter are kind of the butt face in the story. 'Cause communication is very lacking. Now, I laughed at some of these things. I happen to have a 20-year-old living in my house, and sometimes now he's actually got a pretty good head on his shoulders. He's
Well,
actually
and is he really living in your house?
he walks through the place often enough, and he eats all of our food. Now, I mean, he'll pick up his own snacks, but here's the thing: we've always taught him responsibility. And when I said, okay, the deal is you finish high school, that's your payment to me. You drop out of high school until you figure out what you're really going to do with your life. You're paying rent. Now, my rent's $150 a month to him. He's got to cover it. I'm just teaching him responsibility, and I'm flat out honest about that. It's like I'm getting you prepared for that next step. So you have to pay your car payment. You have to cover your car insurance. When he wanted to buy a new phone, he agreed to pay for that phone, but I'm paying for the service. Um, and the rent's 150. And I believe my wife says she just sticks it in a jar for him for like when he moves out or something.
Yeah,
Um,
and I've heard a lot of parents will do that when their kid becomes an adult. They'll charge them rent, but they'll take all of that money and dump it into some savings thing for
I
them.
wish, I wish my mom was like that. She took the rent, and I never saw another dime of that come my way. You know, I had to be over 40 before I started getting birthday cards with money in them. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, no, some good parents do that. But man, I laugh. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. This is a world of 300 to 500 applications to just get a part-time gig.
Yep.
And I guarantee you, 19-year-old, you're not doing as much as you can to apply for jobs. Secondly, you probably do buy some of your own food. I guarantee you, if your parents were to lock up everything you didn't pay for, like it happened in a roommate situation, right? Then you would be a lot more hungry than you are. Thirdly, if you could just move out and get an apartment in today's economy on that kind of BS job,
Yeah. Right.
no, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. All right. That's my piece.
Yeah.
But also,
Yeah.
mom, don't tell her it's for groceries and stuff. Tell her it's because you're getting ready for the real world. And don't tell her to stay at home because she's safe, because now you're just being an overprotective, hovering mom.
Yeah. Well, I don't. It makes me think. What do you think of gap years in general? I'm
I
just like,
I think that the concept is dumb. It's dumb like a cheat day. I think it's a dumb concept the way it's handled. I think in reality, it's a balance to life. I don't think you should rush into college. I don't think you should tear right into knowing what you're going to do. Then when you graduate college, you don't have to get your career started right now, but I'm not going to fund your hike through Europe for a year while you figure yourself out and find it out. You're an adult now. You've got to pay your own way. I hate calling it a gap year because it sounds like, oh, I'm just going to go play. And some people do go play. I
yeah.
had some people working for me in EMS that were pre-med, and they finished up all their pre-med stuff, got a bachelor's degree, and their gap year was just to take a breather while they prepped all the stuff they needed to prep to do the applications. You got to do
Mm,
like a year in advance or something like that for med school.
for
And
their master's program or whatever.
yeah, well, however it works. I didn't get all the nitty-gritty, but you have to go through these but they called it a gap year, but it really was just I pushed really hard. I'm going to work for a year, save up money, and
Yeah.
continue to move forward in my goals of reaching my career. Now, however, I saw 3 of them do that. One of them just bailed on the dream altogether. And
Mm,
like, man, well, I hope you can turn whatever you got your bachelor's in into something, or that you go on to be a great EMT, blah blah blah. Who knows? Because like,
yeah.
well, are you gonna lose your momentum? But then it is. Did you really want it? If 1 year keeps you from getting to your goal, so I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I guess you're spot on that it matters what you're gonna use the gap year for. If it's just a play year, then that's pointless. But if it's actually like a preparation year where you're saving up for the next step or whatever, or you're doing something for the next phase of your life, that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense to me. Um,
And I'm a fan of calling it what it is. If your plans change, like I could make the joke, I'm on my 21st year of my gap year. And it's because I finished up my associates, and instead of going on to my bachelor's, my wife got pregnant with my first kid. I'm like, I don't care enough about IT right now. I'll just work and have kids. It's fine.
yeah. Well, and like I didn't even start college until I was 21. So, technically I had a few gap years ish, but I wasn't just doing nothing. I served the mission trip for my church and things like that. Um, yeah, I think as long as you've got a goal in life, it's not I don't like you said, I don't really care for the term gap year. You're
But now we're off topic, sir.
sorry, my bad.
That's a good little discussion, but let's get back to it.
Yeah, so I I kind of agree with you that they need more communication, but to be honest, this is just a typical teenager being a teenager, not realizing what their parents actually pay for them and taking them for granted. And I say that because I lived through that. Almost every teenager has, where they don't actually understand everything that their parents are paying for, and everything that people around them are paying for, and they take a ton for granted. And it's wisdom comes with age. And my
Wisdom
work
comes with
computer needs to
experience.
shut it.
Learn from it.
Yes, exactly. So lived experience, learning through that, you develop wisdom.
I can't fault the daughter fully, although I mean the way everything, the way this is written, it does sound like I don't know what it is, and fathers and sons can do it too. And I've worked really, really hard to avoid that trope in my house of butting heads and the whole "I can beat you up" kind of thing crap. Um, but I have noticed in my wife and her mother's relationship when her mother was alive, and then in her relationship with the daughters, she'll be like, "So and so's being mean. So and so's being mean." I'm like, mm, not really. I don't see a difference. I think you're just taking it a certain way sometimes, and sometimes they're being mean. But but I don't know. This sounds like a standard situation of just not talking to your kid well enough. And because I had this one's a hard one. I hesitate to bring a harsh ruling down because it's like, well, is it a standard situation where they didn't give this kid a reason to know what bills really cost and to not to actually be appreciative of what's going on? I really didn't learn that until I moved out with my wife. And it's like, oh, hand-me-down couches and stuff, that's cool. I've always, dealt with that, it's fine. But going, oh, I don't have the full TV package. Oh,
Mhm.
internet can be a little bit costly. Oh, I mean, you start realizing like,
Yeah, all
oh,
the different things that add up, and that you're like, oh, my parents were covering this and this and this
yeah.
and this.
And it's more of a quality of life sometimes than it is cost of living. But it can be both. Like we've had honest talks since my son hit 16. We had talks about moving out's gonna be tough because we saw the economy changing and changing and changing. And um, but here's the thing: don't hover. That she referenced twice. I said I'd move out. Well, I mean, we don't know what that means either, right? It could have been just an empty
Don't
threat.
threaten me with a good time.
It could have been, yeah, it could have been, the standard kid thing of, oh, me and my friends are talking about getting an apartment. Yeah, y'all haven't looked at what it takes to get an apartment at all.
Oh,
At
yeah.
all. You're just wishing up a storm there. I don't know.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yeah, my younger brother and like 3 or 4 of his friends, they rented a place right after high school, and that fell apart within like 3 months, 4 months, where they're like, oh, we're out of money. We're gonna move back in with our parents.
And then I mean somebody defaults on the lease.
Yep.
And somebody got their credit ruined, or something went wrong there.
I don't know what their situation was. If they had a month to month, most places don't offer month to month right off the bat.
Especially not the college kids.
Yeah. Well, at that point, none of them were even in college yet. So they were
that
in a
was
gap
rough.
year.
Yeah. So you're saying stop being a grumpy, prissy little teenager. I'm saying bet, move out. Let's see what happens. Ow, that hurt. You're a butt face.
And Reddit declared her the butt face as well.
Meeting adjourned. Danielle, thanks for coming.
Follow these nerdy dads on social media. Charles at Rock God of Podcasting. Joe at Joseph_Ard. Check out the website, wiseandnerdy.com. And as always, they may not be your father, but they'll always be your daddy.
Wow, we got to work on your time. God, Joe, come on. It hasn't even been a year, man. He hasn't been gone a year. Come on, Joe.
Shut up, Charles.
I do not.
My cheese whiz boy.
No, stop it. I have a joke. I do not get workman's comp for that injury, but I do get Taco Bell.